Hello and welcome to another episode with the Autistic Angler. So I was looking through my videos and I just remembered when I saw one, ooh, I haven't done another underwater video from the Eastney jetty. But good job I've remembered today because it's nice and calm. So I get the GoPro ready and then I'll go down, and today I'll be just using some salted rag. So I'll see you down there. Right, I've turned up on the pier and look who's already here. Sultan's here. And no, he didn't tell me he was coming, so that's me unfriended him now. Right, so that's all I bought today. My little GoPro underwater rig. And I've got a 4-ounce bomb weight on it today. And the other gentleman here, he's already caught some wrasse, so we know the wrasse are around. All I'm going to do is catch something on the camera now. It's quite cold today, but there's not too much wind. And as I said before I left home, I'm using some salted ragworm that I've had in the freezer. They should do alright. I've got quite a lot of it. I forgot the size of this hook. I think it was something like a size 8. To be honest, it's about time I changed the hook. It's been on this rig for a while now. So I'm going to lower this down quite gently and we'll have a look, see if we can see if there's any more mullet still down there, because they were still here last month. The water looks quite clear because we've had a few clear days. So yeah, that's the good thing about this salted rag. It's as tough as old boots. Oh, yeah. Slow down, Martin. Turn on the GoPro. Right, that's on. Recording. Is that dangling down in front of the lens? I think it was. Let's have a look. Can I see that? Yeah, you can see that fine. Right. Right, there we go. In the water. So let's drop it down a little bit. No, and no surprise there, the bait's all gone. Stick it out in much the same place. Hang on a minute, I've got a fish. Right, I thought this was a bit heavy. And it is. It's what are they called? Corkwin. So it's a good start then. So we know the corkwin are around. I'm beginning to wonder now if they're actually around all year. Beautiful fish. Right, so here we go then, just dropping it down again. Let's see if there's any grass down here. Oh, there's a little flash. Wonder what that was. Right, there you go. So, grass having a go. So, that's the corkwins. And there was a little pouting just showing its head, and there we go. So that was a battle between the corkwins and the pouting, and the pouting won, or did it lose? So there you go. So dropping it down again, and that's the trouble on the end of the pier. You don't know where you're dropping it. So look at all those pouting. And I noticed before, all the pouting seemed to collect on the end of the pier, in the corner, so there's more pouting here than the corkwins. So it's like on the edge between both packs, as you can see. I can't believe how many pouting there are there, look. And if you look closely, most of these pouting seem to be nice and plain. And you'll see one or two got some faint bars on them. And I've noticed before down here, some of them look very much like zebras. So I don't know why. Oh look! There's a ballon. And as you can see, as we've seen before, the pouting and the wrasse seem to attack the worms on the side. So there you go, they've cleaned the hook. So let's take the hook up and rebait. So here we go, it's coming down. Having a look to see if there's anything in the mid column. and down into the shoal again. So what I'm doing on the end, I'm going right up to the end and across and down the other side. So we're still on the first side, on the corner. There's a little crab. I think that's a velvet swimming crab. And as with everything, I can't control the GoPro when it's under the water. It's down to all the currents, where it points. But there's, as you can see, there's loads of structure down there. That looked like one of the fish had a little nip at the crab then, didn't it? As you can see, there's still, there you go, there's one of the striped ones. So if you've got any ideas why some of the poutings are striped or not, put a comment down and let me know. Yeah, it's definitely a velvet one, isn't it, that crab? Quite surprised there's no barnacles on that pier leg, but and as you can see on the end there, look, it slopes down. I guess when they were building it, that's all the rubbish from the end of the pier. So, and if you look closely in this video, you can see some other signs of life. That's probably the same crab. We'll see some more later. A couple of times I slow the video down. I think I'll do it this time so we can see. Yes, let's see what we can see here. Because I noticed there were some flashes. There you go. And guess what it is? Sand smelt. I can't believe we've got so many fish in the middle of November. There you go, look at those. It's not a big shoal like we had earlier, a month or two ago. But I was surprised when I slowed it down and saw, because I just saw some flashes. And I wondered if it was flashes from mullet or whatever, but couldn't see any mullet there, just those smelt. And strangely enough, there you go, what's that just flew past those? Are those smelt again, do you think? I think they are, aren't they? There's something else that moves like that later in the video. I'm sure it's a sand eel. But I can't see any bass on this one today, or mullet. Just and a surprising amount of brass and pouting at the moment. But there'll be another surprise soon, so keep watching. And like I say, sometimes when they're, there you go. So there's a little corkwing coming up, and I've slowed it down. Let's see what we can see this time. So I think it just goes up the other side of this structure. Something shows us. I think it might be some more smelt. It's not here. You can see one or two smudges there, but let's go a bit higher. Oh no, that's not a smelt. That's a fish shape. Don't know what that is, that high up, but there's a few of them there. I think there might be something above this little structure here. Let's see. I'm sure there was some more fish on top of it, which is why I slowed it. No, that was it. Right, okay. Right, let's move on then. We've got some more rag on, and we're still on this side, but we're coming towards the corner now, so I'm suspecting to see, yeah, just here, expecting to see more pouting. Slowed it down. There's a fish. Can't see what those are. I think they're probably small wrasse rather than, definitely not the mullet, and they weren't bass or anything, so it looks like we've just got wrasse and pouting around at the moment. So what have we got down here? Like I say, there you go, pouting. I thought we were still on pouting corner, and there's still some corkwings, and it looks like, there you go, there's one of those stripy ones. And I know they're all pouting, whether they've got stripes or not. So, loads of pouting here, look. And like I say, there's no barnacles on that leg, but there's so much rubbish down here with barnacles and weeds on, and there's all sorts of stuff. I did notice, don't know if you've seen them, there's some fishing line around and the odd weight and stuff. But even though, and there's another cork being caught. I haven't bothered showing anything out of the water today because I thought I'd just keep it for the underwater, just basically to see what's down here. And I'm, like I say, I can't believe how many fish there are down here. And the structure, and sometimes, like in this case, look, I can't control where I drop it, and they just can't see it sometimes, and it takes a while for them to find it. But once one finds it, it seems that he sends some signals out from his movements, and the others move in. I found this, and you might see it later on. They'll look at the bait, and it's only when one of them starts, all the others jump on it as well. And at the moment, look, nobody can really find it, and there it goes. He's got it. And it still surprises me, the sounds that the GoPro picks up when it's down there. So up the top, of course, all I can see is it jiggling, and I keep thinking to myself, oh, they've probably had the bait by now, so I keep taking it up. Sometimes they've taken it, and sometimes they haven't. So, we're moving around the front of the pier a bit. And you'll notice, suddenly, where's the pouting gone? And this is something that surprised me. I've only gone around a couple of foot, just round the corner, and the pouting have stopped. It's like they've turned off. And we do find later, there are one or two, seem to be out of the area, but I know there are shoalfish, aren't they? So, but they seem very tightly controlled. Okay, this is slowed down again. Now, why is this? Oh, I think there's... Oh, yes, down bottom left, look. Is that a goby or a blenny? You'll see it move in a second when the wrasse gets too close to it. I wasn't able to work out what it was. But the thing with the stripes on that's bottom left, it's just about to shift. There. Ah, looking like that, that looks like a small tompot, a baby tompot. So I don't know. It looks definitely like a blenny to me, rather than a goby or a scorpion fish. Yeah, so I was sort of saying, the pouting seemed to be happier around the corner, and one of the big things around the pier is there's a load of eddy currents. We're on a flood tide today. So, in the way we're looking at it, the flood's going from the left to the right. But what it actually does, it goes up the harbour and turns round again. That was a goby. And I think, did I see it? Yeah, there's a tompot blenny just there. So you've got a goby and a blenny fighting for the food here. And there's a ballan as well. So the ballan has a suck. He doesn't seem to like it, so he goes off. And then the cork-wing attack it. Now, you know, we haven't got a clue what goes on, what makes them eat it, and what makes them not, but why didn't the ballan just take the whole thing? Right, dropping down again. And I think I'm round the front now. And like I say, wrasse. Still quite a few of them. But they seem to... I don't think they hang around in shoals like the pouting do, but they hang around in groups. I don't know whether it's family groups or if they hang around for out the way of predators or what, I don't know. But there's various sizes. There's a little small one down the bottom there. And it's this whole pecking at the side of the bait. Bearing in mind, this is a size 8 hook on here. And they're still not taking the whole hook. They're still pecking at the side of it. And look at that. There's another tompot. Look. They seem very aggressive when they attack it. But it is survival of the fittest down there. So they are fighting for survival. And the other thing that I was thinking through this video today, there's no greenery down here. Look at all these colours of the seaweeds. They're all browns and greys and... Right, so we've dropped down again with the new bait on. And this is a bit clearer. That's a smaller cork-wing there. There's a tom-pot plenty. They're very distinctive with their little antlers. And going up to rebait again. Oh, go slow down, so there's something coming up. What's coming up here? It's probably more identification needed, because I saw so many things there in the video, and I was thinking, it's the middle of November. Surely that can't be a ... But it is a ... So is this more smelt we're looking at then? Or let's have a look. We're coming up to the top of the water column now, just under the surface, and you can see it's all clear. Some seaweed that's attaching. Did I see something then? Let's have a look as we go up over this cross member. And I obviously slowed it down because it's a really short clip, so it might be a bit blurry. Here we go then. Oh, there you go. There's a shoal of... Oh yeah, guess what? Now I can see it. It's some more smelt again. What are we doing with smelt in the middle of November? I thought they were a summer thing. Right, so now I'm in the middle of the end of the pier. So this is opposite the ends of the two pipes. Now, have I got time to say what I want to say here? Yes. Just let you watch the rest. Now, a couple of the times... Oh, here we go. I was just going to talk about this. A couple of times on these videos, you'll hear a strange whining noise, which you can hear now. And I've worked out what that whining noise is. No, it's not the crab. These pipes are actually live pipes. They control or outlet overflow water. So what you can hear is all the machinery way back, a couple 100 yards back, 100 yards back maybe, on shore. Right, now, look at these fish. Why are these all diving down? And what are they? Look, there's loads of them diving down, all together. Reminds me of those whale films you see with all the whales pointing down. Look, no matter where you look, they're all diving down. And look, you can see what they are now. Pollock. There's a load of pollock. But why are they all heading down? It doesn't make any sense. It's another one of these things that, looking at these videos, it's throwing up so many questions to my mind. So what we're on now, we're on the other corner. Now look at that bait. You might have seen it a minute ago. I had some rag row on there, but I picked up that little, let's call it a pea mussel. Now, stupid me, every time I took it up to the surface, all I saw was a blob, and I thought it was more worms, so I kept throwing it down there. Now, I know the fish aren't attacking this, but some of the times, with this hanging down there, I've got some clear footage, so I thought I'd leave it on for you to see. And there's other things going to happen as well. There's other fish going to swim past. So we're on the opposite corner now. Now, in this stage, you can see the pollock seem to be in the main pointing to the left. Well, that's pointing up to the harbour, and that should be looking with the flow of water, but they're actually swimming against the flow of water. So this is this eddy current that I keep talking about. It doesn't seem to make any sense with all the currents, but the fish obviously know where they're swimming. There's some more clearer signs of the pollock, look. And I'm surprised that the wrasse haven't had a go at this. Oh, here we go. What's that top left? Is this a sand eel? Look how thin it is. It's obviously, or is it a garfish? I think it's a sand eel. It certainly swims like a sand eel, but it's on its own, whatever it is. It's definitely not anything else we've seen. And look top right, look at this colourful little green ballanras that's coming into view here as well. That's the only sign we see of that that eel creature, and I'm sure it wasn't a smelt. It was too long for a smelt, I think. Yeah, those small green ballanras surprised me. Ballanras come in a variety of different colours. Very beautiful, those lime green ones. I've only ever caught one of them. So, like I say, we've still got one or two wrasse over this side, but not a single pouting. There is the odd blenny and gobies, so I don't think they are territorial, but it seems that the pollock and the pouting are. It seems that the pollock are all on one corner and the pouting on the other corner. It just doesn't. There you go. That's the shoulder pollock up there. You'll see more of those in a bit. It's quite a big shoal. I was quite surprised. And don't get too excited. They're not big fish. That's a size 8 hook, so they've got to be half a pound fish, something like that. A shoal of young pollock. But look at them. Look how many fish there are. And it just goes on and on and on. So 10 foot away, maybe 15 foot away, you've got all those pouting, and you've got all these pollock, and it's mid-November. And I was expecting there to be less fish here. I thought we might even not see so many wrasse during the winter. But look at all this. It's an astonishing amount of fish down there. And it's interesting to see how close the pollock are to the seabed, because I know if you want to catch pollock, you've got to have your lures on the floor nice and slow. And they don't seem to be feeding, do they? They're just moseying around doing fish stuff. There you go. Look at this wrasse. He's biting the knot rather than the actual mussel. You would have thought they would have gone for the mussel as they eat shellfish. See, most of those pouting are heading the one way, aren't they? Pointing the one way and going the other way, some of them, swimming around. It was quite a big tide today, so you thought they would have swum into the current. But it's just astonishing how many fish there are down there. I think there's more fish down here than I've seen since I've been doing these underwater videos. You know, the shoals of these. Yes, there was more smelt. There was hundreds and hundreds and maybe even thousands of the smelt when I started doing them. But for fish-shaped fish, it's just incredible. And again, why is there no bass around? We've seen bass in the videos before. And I don't see a single bass today. And yet there's big bass being caught in the harbours, even now, this late. So maybe that's it. Maybe the bass have just gone up into the harbours and they're not at the mouth of the harbour. Because this is where this is. Look at all them fish. Look. Incredible. I can't believe it. So there you go. If you know the jetty, we're right on the other corner now. Let's call it pollock corner, because look at all the damn pollock. Yeah, I haven't done a count of the fish, but I only caught the one pouting today. But I think I had something like 6 to 8 of the cork wings, but I don't bother showing all of those because I just want to share with you all this underwater footage because I found it quite incredible. I've seen more fish here than any of the videos. And there you go, look, nobody's been eating this. Now he's come up and he's had a go. Is he going to attract some other people? Oh, I know what I think's coming soon. Next time this slows down, you watch this for a bit of a surprise. And it is just coming up now. Here he comes. Elephant Man wrasse. You look closely at him. I've never seen a deformity like this. It's just coming out of the weeds, I think. Is that him? There he is on the top of the picture, look. He comes closer into view in a minute. He's got a massive deformity over his right eye. And he looks just like John Hurt's Elephant Man back in this, I think it was the 60s. I've kept it nice and slow. He's going to be the middle of these three fish when they come out here. There he is, look, coming down into the middle of the screen. Looks perfectly fine this side, but when he turns around, massive growth above his eye, look. So, comment below if you know what causes the growth on the fish like that then, because I haven't seen it before. I've heard of deformities on fish, but I've never actually caught one. And I'm just surprised today. I was only out there for a couple of hours, but the different things that I saw down there on this video was incredible. I mean, look at the ground. It's just stones, flint. Now, I do wonder if this was what was chucked down there when they were making the jetty, rather than it being natural. So, bare hook, loads of fish. Yeah, did I say loads of fish? It's enough for me to make me think it must be worth me going down and throwing some lures down there just to see if I can actually catch one, because there's so many there. I don't know. I have to park that one for another day. So we've gone up for a rebait. Did I get rid of the little pea shell, the pea mussel this time, or have I left it on? There you go. I finally noticed, and we've changed it for some worms. So hopefully this time we might get some more. No, look, the pollock aren't. Bang! Here come the wrasse. The pollock just aren't interested in worm. And yet, I have caught a pollock before on fresh ragworm, so I know they will take the worm bait. But you've seen them; they're just showing no interest at all in the feeding habits. But the wrasse, when one has a go, they all come around. And it's the same with the gobies and the blennies. They'll come over and see what's going on. Look at the pollock. They just don't. They're not interested. Right, so back down again. There's no doubt that this salted rag works okay though. So we're still. There you go. Just under that leaf. Then, did you see that little fishing weight? And there's the pollock just floating around. And what's going to happen here? Here comes a little wrasse. He's ignoring it. Can't see any. Yeah, there's no crabs down here, is there? There's one or two as we've seen. But you would have thought around this structure it would have been a place for a load of crabs. There we go. One wrasse has found it. And in they come. What a shame that leaf's in the way, but we're not there yet with technology that I can put a little arm out and cut the leaf off so that you can see that weight that's there. I'm surprised I've not seen weights before, to be honest, because I know there's been tons of people lose weights down on this corner exactly where we are, because this is the favoured corner for the fishermen on the jetty, so that they fish on this corner up into the deeper water with the tide behind them. So there you go. If you want to go down and get that weight, it's down there somewhere. But yes, it is very rocky down there, isn't it? So that explains why so many people get snagged down there. And as you'll see in a bit with me, you get caught on the actual pier legs and the cross members and stuff. Look at that. It's a nice big ballon there. He's got pretty normal colours for the bigger ballon. Oh, there's another little pretty green one, look. What's that, Mummy and Daddy? Or mummy and son or something. I don't know. I don't know if it's a sexual thing or whatever. But oh, that was another ballan there, I think. What might have been this corkwing. So yes, corkwing. There seems to be quite a big population of them there. And I know I've certainly caught quite a few. And looks like I've just caught another one. No, he let go of it. Still nothing in the middle water column. Obviously there's those few... hello, what's happened here? We've fallen off a bit of a rock or something? So it looks like I'm down the side of a bit of a structure. I don't know what's got the bait this time. Is it a fish or is it a crab? No, it looks likely that it might be... Oh, what's that? That was a blenny, wasn't it? There he is, yes. So blenny and wrasse, that's it. And one of the zebra. I always called it a zebra finch then. So why did that one not like the look of it? Is there something in there that he didn't like the look of? Oh, I don't know. That was one of those instances that I thought all the nibbles would have been enough to take the worm off the hook. It's surprising, when you throw it down there, it seems to only take about 15 seconds before sometimes they can strip it completely clean. So I'm working around the front, heading back over to the pouting corner. I expect we'll start seeing the pouting again soon, but this just shows you, look, I can't see any sand down there. It's just a load of rocks. Oh, there was a little bead then. So, like I say, we know loads of tackle gets lost down there. So we've seen a bit of line and a bead and a weight. It's a bit different. I haven't noticed anything like that before. So back down again with some fresh worm on. Well, it's not fresh, it's salted. But... and let's see what we see down this time. So we're back round the corner again on this slope of all the debris coming down. And there's just the normal sort of wrasse. But in a second, you're going to see something that I don't know what it is. It's a little fish. There he comes. Top left, look. He's got a spot on a gill, just behind a gill plate, and a spot on his tail. Now that is not a gold cinny wrasse. He's the wrong shape for a wrasse. He looks to me like some form of goby. But I don't know my gobies. I've caught sand gobies before, and rock gobies, and black gobies, and none of those have had the spots like that one's got. So, again, comment below, please, and let me know what you think that fish is. Because I'm fascinated to know what that one is. That's a new one on me, that one. He's definitely not a wrasse. Like I say, the gold cinny is the only thing I've noticed with the two spots on him, but they're in the wrong place anyway. So, that's what I mean. I was only down on the jetty for a couple of hours, and look at all this stuff we found today. It's an astonishing amount of stuff when you've got a clear water day, and you can see everything down there very clearly. I mean, what is there to feed all these fish? Look, what's that? There's a little, that looks like a small blenny again. I keep calling them tompots because there's so many tompot blennies around. But I couldn't see very clearly what that one was. So there's another crab. So it's just the odd crab, like I say. It's strange because at the front of the pier, at the back of the pier instead of the front where we are, I know you can get loads and loads of crabs. But out here, maybe the current's too strong for them. There's certainly lots of structure down there for them to hide in. So a rebait again. I left all this footage in of going up and down just to see if we can see if there's anything in the middle of the column. But it looks, I was quite surprised with those smelt that they were there. I thought that being a summer thing they would have gone. But like I say, is this what it's going to be like for the winter then? That we're going to just have these three shoals, the pollock, the pouting and the wrasse around. Or the three species, should I say. Look at that structure. There's all sorts of rubbish down there. Now, I don't know if this is from construction or abandoned from ships chucked over the side or what. There's all sorts of stuff. Now, there's some seaweed and stuff growing up. And you can see the sunlight's getting down to... Oh, look, what's that? That looks like a set of feathers in there, doesn't it? Pink. And what have we got here? Is this a scorpion fish here, or is this a blenny? I don't think we get to see it long enough. There's a couple of times today I thought it looked like a scorpion fish. No, that's not scorpion, is it? That's blenny. Or is it? Oh, I don't know. I've caught both down there, so I know there are the odd one or two. But I've noticed they tend to stay hidden and then dart out, whereas look at all this lot, these just hang around like kids in the playground. So many corkwing down there. And what was that? Somebody just got himself hooked. Greedy so-so. Ah, right, now this was the thing. As I was saying about snagging, I think this is the one where I get snagged. No, it's not, must be another one. So he came up and down, was released fine. There is one in a minute that when I'm bringing them up I get snagged, and you see that very clearly. So I just noticed a pouting then, so that, and we've got one or two pollocks. So there you go. Look, here's the pouting back on this corner again. So what is that? Why are they all on this corner and the pollock all on the other corner? It doesn't make any sense to me. But then I'm not a fish expert. This one looks like he's hooked, doesn't it? Well and truly. Now maybe this is the one that gets stuck. He's sort of jumping around a lot. There we go. This was one of these god-awful moments that I thought I'd lost the GoPro again. It got stuck on this pier, look. I was running up and down the pier trying to put different angles on it to release it. And look how solid it is. And the poor fish is still there. And as you saw in the video the other day, I don't like leaving fish. But there you go, look. Managed to free it. So, I could breathe another sigh of relief. Considering how many of those underwater cameras I've lost, I can't believe I haven't lost this one yet. So, we can still see the pollock on the other corner, and they're coming across into the middle a little bit. So there looks to be a little crossover zone between those two as well. Now look at this one. Why has this wrasse got all these spots on him? I've never seen markings like that on one before. Is that a disease? And that's him gone. All those black spots on him. What is it about today that I'm seeing all these different things down there? Fascinating. Still lots of pollock coming over this side. I don't think we've seen a pollock and a pouting in the same shot. And look at that pier leg. Look, one side of it's clear, the other side's got barnacles and rubbish on. Just, don't know. And this was interesting. Look at this fish. He's just looking at it, looking at it, looking at it. For some reason, he didn't want to eat it. And that one's not interested either. Look. What's wrong with it? There's something happened to that bait that suddenly they don't want to eat it anymore. But it looks to be plenty there. Is he going to take a little nibble and have a look? Is he going to have a taste? Maybe he will then. Yeah, there he did. And because he did, somebody else comes and have a look. There you go. Behaviour attracts behaviour, doesn't it? But I don't know why that other one didn't take a little look. Let's change the bait anyway. So we're coming to the end end of the underwater sequence soon. Another couple of minutes to go, and I'm coming back around to where I started. So, like I say, I started from here, went all the way round the head of the pier and back down again. It was basically just to see what was around and where it was, to be honest. And now look, coming under the pier, looking under the pier, the pollock are coming over. And they're at the end of the pipe. The pipe ends to the left there. You won't be able to see him in the murk. But as I was saying, I don't think we've seen a pollock and a pouting in the same shot. But the pouting should just be behind me, that big shoal of pouting, so maybe they do cross over. Maybe there's no such thing as zones like I keep thinking, but it's definitely a case that I've noticed before, that the pollock are on one corner and the pouting on the other, but I guess they'll move around and change sides and go all over the place. So, that's given you a good look to see what's down here in the second week of November. Seems to be getting more and more fish instead of less and less. But just fewer species. So, is this the last chuck down? It might be. There's a nice big marlin sticking its nose in there, look. And the pollock are still around. Seems they've gone off that bait now. Wonder why that is then. No, yeah, hello, what's this fella going to do? Guess what he's going to do? Get himself hooked. And that's quite nice. That's the biggest fish of the day on the last cast of the day. And there you go.